Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is a tutorial on how to stabilize and how to stretch the IT band. So first, let's be clear about what the IT band is, because there's a little bit of a misconception out there. The IT band is actually part of something called the fascia lata, which encases your whole thigh and all of the muscles in it. So there's all of this connective tissue, almost like a little wetsuit that slurps around all of this. But on the outside of your leg, running from the outer hip all the way to the outer knee, the fascia is a little thickened and more taut, and that's to give us stability through the outer hip, and that's called the IT band. And both the gluteus maximus, your big muscle here, and your TFL, which is a little muscle here, both insert into the IT band. So the IT band is almost like a really long, strengthened tendon. And so like all of the connective tissue in our body, the IT band, or like much of it, is really meant to stabilize. So it doesn't really stretch, although what we can do is apply kind of tension to these muscles and help to open the muscles up. And we can also stabilize the IT band by stabilizing and strengthening the musculature that inserts upon it. And the quads are also right underneath the IT band. So we're going to look at a couple of exercises that just help us to stabilize the outer hips, which is part of this whole structure. And then we'll look at some stretches that specifically target kind of this line of pull. And we'll hold those for a while. So for those of you out there who do a lot of, hiking, walking, biking, anything that moves in this direction, the outer hips have really gotten strong to support you. So stretching this out can be a really nice complement to the other kind of work that you're doing. Okay, so that said, let's start by coming into chair pose. And for this little baby tutorial practice that we're gonna do, it's a nice idea to have a couple of blocks, or you could have a couple of big books or something like that, as well as a strap or a scarf or a necktie or something like that, right? All right, so let's start at the front of our mat. And we'll start by coming into chair pose. So sit your hips back and down. Right? And as you do, notice where the knees track. So part of this structure is really helping our knees to keep in alignment. So you want the knees to track right over the center of the ankle. So as you press down into the inner feet, press the outer thighs apart, and you're gonna feel the outer hips kind of light up like a Christmas tree, and then go ahead and stand up. So I'm pressing the inner feet down, but I'm trying to press my feet apart from each other, so you'll feel the outer hips and the glutes start to fire. And then keep that action as you sit down, then press the feet apart as you stand up and squeeze the glutes. And then sit on down. So we're really tracking the knee, and then squeeze the glutes, and then sit on down, and then come on up and squeeze the glutes. And then sit on down and bring the weight into your right foot. Now, without swaying a lot, the idea here is to keep stable through the hips. Come onto your left toes here. And now, keeping the pelvis stable, all of this hugging in, hover the left foot. All right, come all the way up to stand. We're going to do a little flow here. You can bring your hands together in front of your heart. Hinge forward from the pelvis, send this heel back and up towards the sky. So what we're doing is we're working the outer right hip, and we're keeping that right thigh tracking, and then draw the left knee up and in, and then hinge forward. So we're staying super square, heel up towards the sky. One more time, draw it in. You'll probably feel your hamstrings, your glutes all firing up, super strong and stable, like you're between two panes of glass, pressing up. And then draw the knee up into the chest. Inhale, engaging the quads, kick the heel forward. Draw the knee up, kick the heel forward. Draw it up, super stable through the outer hips. Kick the heel forward, draw the knee in, place the foot down. Same thing, second side. Pour the weight into your left foot, come onto your right toes. Outer hips stay stable and strong. Draw the knee up and into your chest. And then bend the left knee, kick the right heel back, hinge from the pelvis. So I'm keeping my outer left hip drawing in and up. So it's like I'm moving between, again, two panes of glass. Whoa! If your balance is a little wobbly, that's okay. Mine is sometimes. Kick the heel back, hinge forward, heel up towards the sky. Draw the knee in. Slowly feel the glutes fire up on that left side. Send the heel back, kick the heel up towards the ceiling. And then draw the knee in and up. Okay, lift up through the low belly, strengthening the quad, kick the heel forward. The only thing that's moving here is the knee is extending. Kick the heel forward, lift up tall through the sides of your waist. One more time, lift the knee up, kick the heel forward, lift the knee up, place the foot down, press the thighs apart, reach your arms forward, chair pose. Sit down, little pulses for 5. Press into your heels for 4, press your knees apart for 3. Inner feet press down, knees press wide. 2 and 1. Slowly come all the way down, sit on your bum. Bring your toes forward, hold on behind your legs. So again, part of the IT band is that the quad is running right underneath it. So squeeze the legs in, lift your chest, float your knees. So to engage the quads, this is a good one, okay? Inhale, exhale, straighten your legs. Now if you need extra support, bring your hands to your thighs. Otherwise, we're gonna hold here. Squeeze your legs, straighten your legs. Make sure these guys are working. For 5, 4, for 3, stretch your legs. For 2, and for 1, draw the knees down. All right, so let's get into a little bit of stretching now. Come on forward. Coming into a low lunge, place your hands, I like using blocks here, on either side of your front foot. Shift your hips back, and now walk your right foot over to the left side of your mat. Okay, flex the foot, and now pull the outer right hip back and in. So take your right hand, take your right thumb all the way up to your right hip, and use your thumb to pull the thigh back. Now, the quads under there engaging is going to help to create more tension across the IT band. So take your right hand to your thigh and hit this hit the quad. Make sure it's working. It likes to just kind of go, meow. So like give it a little tap. Make sure it's activating. And then as you keep pulling the right hip back, turn your toes out. So I want you to find, like when you turn your toes like a little clock, you're going to find the spot that really stretches the outside of the leg for you. Press through the ball of your right foot. Pull the outer right hip back and in. It's almost like I'm trying to pull my right sitting bone behind me. Stretch the leg, stretch the leg, stretch the leg. Squeeze the inner thighs. Keep this thigh working, working, working. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. Go ahead, bend that knee. Bring it across to the other side. Plant your hands down. Just step back into a downward facing dog for a sec. Take a nice stretch through the backs of your legs. And then lower your knees down. Step the left foot forward. Hands on blocks if you like. Walk your foot over to the right side of your mat. Flex your foot. Pull the outer hip back and in. One side may be a little wonkier than the other. My left side is a little bit tighter. So now again, this quad, it wants to stop working. It's like, no thank you. I don't want to stretch. I don't want to activate all that. So make it work. Give it a little poke. Bring your left thumb into your left hip crease and pull that back and in. Ooh, and then press through the ball of your left foot. And then again, you can turn the toes out, turn the toes in. Find the spot of maximum stretch for you. Now, fascial stretching, connective tissue stretching can feel quite intense, but usually it's very good for us. So as long as there's something sharp, that kind of an intense ache is just fine. And we don't want something that's right in a joint, right? So, but if you're feeling like, an intense stretch through the outside of the leg, that's where we want to be. Now you got to activate, remember, so activate the quad, make sure it's engaged. Press through the big toe mound of your left foot and pull the outer left hip back and in. Really, the amount that you add your kind of intention to this, the deeper it's going to be. Holding here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Okay, bend your front knee coming out of this. Walk your foot back over, place your hands, and then step back into downward facing dog. Okay, bring your knees down to the floor. We're going to swing the legs. We're going to come to lay on our back. And we're going to do the same stretch on our back, but this time we're going to hold it. And I'm going to time us so that we get a really long, juicy stretch. So these stretches really start to get good after 90 seconds. So we're going to hold each side for 2 minutes, my friends. Yes, we are. So you're going to have your strap. Come to lay down. Draw your right knee into your chest. Now you have a couple of options here with your left leg. It can stay bent, or you can stretch it forward, which is a little bit more intense, right? So you choose. If it's better with the foot bent or with the knee bent, and your pelvis down, that's just fine. Otherwise, you can extend it out. Now, stretch your right leg up. Here's the thing. Rather than having it bent and close, instead take it far away and straight, okay? Because again, we really want to engage the quad to add a little tone underneath the IT band. So, relax your shoulders down. Now put your strap into your left hand, and you'll notice I like to stick my middle finger between these two kind of ends and then let my arm hang. That way you don't have to do a lot of work. Now for a moment, bring your attention to your extended leg. Reach through that foot and press that thigh down. Now use your right hand. Engage your quad, straighten your leg, and spread the foot into the strap. And again, totally cool to be way out here, but try to straighten your leg. All right, from here, I'm gonna get our timer going. Take your right thumb, pull your outer right hip down and in. So pull the outer right hip down to the floor, stretch through the heel, and now keep your right hip heavy, but take the toes across to the left shoulder. So I'm pressing the thigh forward, but stretching the toes up to my left shoulder. And you gotta engage your quads to really make that work, right? So I'm pulling the right thigh bone down, engaging the quads. We have to consistently come back, reminding it to engage, 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 and then pull the outer left hip crease both to the your other foot, so forwards, as also down. And then breathe, my friends. I know this can be intense. Play with flexing the foot, turning the foot in and out until you find the spot that really gives you this sense of fascial stretching. You might even feel it all the way up into the calf. This does connect all the way down, all right? So when we stretch the fascia of our body, or I should say when we add kind of a persistent tension to it with the intention of kind of realigning it or de-adhering it, it's something that affects the whole body. So the whole body is almost encased in this little fascial body stocking, and there's a lot of overlapping pieces. So like when we stretch the IT band, all of a sudden you might be like, oh, why do I feel a stretch through my outer ankle, or I feel a stretch into my back? That's very typical when we start to address the connective tissue. And especially if you're an athletic type or do a lot of dynamic movement, these kind of stretches can be a really functional and supportive part of your whole body wellness. We have about 30 more seconds here. So continue to pull your outer right hip down into the floor. Oh my gosh, even a little bit goes a long way. And stretch your toes. Now reconnect to your left leg for a second. Stretch through the inner foot. And let's really add a little fire to this. Really stretch through both legs for 3 more breaths. Reach, 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 reach. Pull the outer right hip down. One more time. Big breath in. And exhale. Woo. Okay, bring the right leg back. Bend the knee, lower it down. Give it a little roll out. Just notice how it feels. And let's do the other side. So bring the left foot into the strap. Extend the left foot up. And then again, your option is to keep the right knee bent or to extend it out. Press, if the right leg is extended, press that thigh bone down. All right. Take your strap into your right hand. Let the arm bone be heavy. And use your left hand to first engage your quad, make it work, kind of give it a little poke, and then use your thumb to draw your hip down towards your opposite heel and pull down into the mat. So it's really anchored. And then with that anchored, then go ahead and start to cross the foot over the midline of your body. So I'm pulling my outer left hip down, and I'm stretching the toes to my shoulder. And I'm just gonna make sure I've got us timed here. Here we go. So we have to constantly remind ourselves, because the body tries to find the path of least resistance, and it's like, that doesn't feel comfortable or normal. I'm gonna avoid that stretch. So we have to constantly remind the quad to engage, to hug the muscle to the bone, and then explore what it feels like to draw your toes down towards your face, maybe turn the foot in and out. You can even turn the thigh in and out just a little bit. I find it's helpful to think about almost externally rotating the thigh a little bit to really anchor the hip down. Woo! And then crossing the leg over. So there's a little magnetic pull between your toes and your right shoulder. Okay, guys, keep engaging your legs. Relax your jaw. And with every exhale, let your outer left hip get a little bit heavier as you cross the right toes over. So I'm also rolling my left ribs down towards the floor and also my left hip down towards the floor. And when we're stretching again, the connective tissue, this kind of long hold can be really good. So another thing you might look into is some yin practices. So in a yin style class, we do focus stretches often on the hips that really are designed to address connective tissue in the body rather than just the muscles. So if after this tutorial you're like, hey, that felt really good, you might want to check out a yin class. because they do a lot of this stuff, and it can be really good for your body. All right, ready? We got 3 more long, slow breaths. So let's really add our intention to this. Pull the outer left hip down, straighten the leg a lot, cross the toes over. Deep breath in, pull the hip down. Oh, mamma mia. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, keep pulling the outer left hip down. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, draw the leg back to center. Give it a little bend. Draw your knees into your chest. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. You can rock forward and back or roll over onto one side to come all the way up. Give your legs a little wiggle. And then just take a stand up for a moment. And take a little walk around. And just notice how your hips feel. They feel any different? And as you go into the rest of your day, kind of notice how the hips are feeling in your walking. And hopefully this has been a good little IT band stretch and will support the rest of all of your physical activities.